Welcome to Demicore Gaming, first ever D&D campaign recording. I have my map at the top and I have my associate's description. I will be reading out what they say, but this is just for the lookout of what it has. Let's get into it. So, let's introduce the party. So, we have these guys that are lovely, that I've looked over many times to figure out who will fit into my campaigns. And then I wanted to see if they would want to join. Sure enough, a few of them wanted to join. Right now, we are here with the player, I believe, known as... His name is Zach in the campaign as his character, but he is FreakShow82 _ HR. And he is playing, I believe, Zach. Is that correct? No. Then which one are you playing then? Or is it the Boba Saga? Oh, Boba Yaga. Okay. So this one's actually pretty interesting. It's Boba Yaga. My bad. Okay, that's what I thought it was at first, and then I'm like, wait, hold on. Which one was it? I'm going to just start off as random here, just because the fact that I'll just go over with other people as well. So I'm going to do this. You and the rest of the party, you don't know each other. You're all randomly woken up one night, here 5 years ago, at different times of the year. You were all at different parts of the land. Condisnizo. You were all immediately forced into different trades to hide from the Dark Wizard, who has been waiting until you arrived to stop you guys from stopping him. After 2 years of searching, the Dark Wizard discovered a way to find all of you, and began searching. He ended up finding Baba Yaga and Karas. He locked them up in a dungeon between the land of living and the land of dead. Fast forward to 3 years later, it's been 5 years since you arrived, and the Dark Wizard is still at large. Alright, Baba Yaga. I would like for you to roll for persuasion. No. I want you to roll for... What's the word? Perception. Because now you are just waking up inside a dark room that's barely lit with... You don't know how many people or where you're at, and you're curious. Okay, is that with added, with your, is that with your plus? Okay. Let's see. Give me a second, I have to pull up my thing. As you are looking around, okay, I get your rolls right here as well, so I just saw that, yeah. So, as you were looking into the deep, dark room, you notice two things. You notice that there are two guards outside the gate, and you notice some guy that looks like to be from Earth as well, sitting across the way from you, tied up, passed out. He looks more beaten up than you were when you got knocked out. What do you want to do? You are bound to the wall with chains, but they seem to be very rusty chains, so you can pull them out if you get high enough roll. You want to rip it out of the wall? Alright. Roll. What? What is M? You don't want to rip it out of the wall? Okay. What do you want to do then? Oh, you do? Or no? I'm confused. What was the number? Okay, you were able to rip it out of the wall just enough to have it flung really far. Well, not have it flung off the wall, but like have it hit the ground right next to you. You were able to make it really loose, and it just fell on top of you, kind of thing, not making a noise. If you were to roll a little bit higher, like if you would have probably flung it out and alert the guards, but because you didn't roll high enough, that didn't happen. If you look into the game log, you can see the custom roll is 2, and that's for the integrity of it. Okay, you're gonna go over to the other person. You mean the other human kind of looking person? If so, please roll for dexterity. Okay, you were able to get past one guard. The other guard was turned around to just check on you guys, and he kind of saw a glimpse of you, but he kind of looked at you and immediately went, I think that just might be a big, large animal that's went in there or something, and turned around and forgot about it, kind of thing. So you get over to the guy. What do you do? Roll a perception check. You can tell that there is a heartbeat on him, but he is somewhat shaken and seems to be really beaten up and bloody to the point where you think that he might be in a coma. What do you want to do? What do you mean by spare the dying? Is that you gonna bring him back to life, or are you gonna kill him? Oh, cast spare of dying. All right, go ahead and roll for that. Okay, you were able to bring him to... Wait, hold on. Did you roll... What, did you roll the 9 or... Right? No, hold on. You didn't roll yet, did you? Oh, you did. Oh, or maybe you didn't. Hold on. I don't know. I'm looking at D&D Beyond. So you don't have to roll, really? That's not how my old campaign went, I guess. Well, anyway, you bring him back to stable life, and you bring him to you bring him to a point where he's able to breathe normally without shaking up, and you can start to notice that he's starting to become a little bit more conscious, but he's not really conscious. He's basically taking a short rest. Um. Okay. You roll another perception check. Okay, you notice that there seems to be about 12 other people in this room, and the candle that is lit is looks to be fairly used and almost completely out, meaning that they might have to relight one soon. And you notice that a couple people on the east wall, where you were chained to, was looking at you in confusion on how you got free. Okay, so they look at you and see you do this, and I need you to roll for. I need you to roll a d20 for persuasion, and then I need you to roll a d6. Okay. With the 5, you were able to persuade one of them to to become part of it and realize, oh yeah, this person's this. He actually did that. While the rest of the 6 people that are there that you think are there might be more, still aren't believing you. And this guy starts to pull on these chains, and this dude seems to be just skin and bone, and you can see his ribcage a lot. He's like, it looks like he's been in there a while. He looks old, and he's starting to pull and pull and pull. Okay, roll for strength. Okay, you were able to go up to him and grab him and barely take a pull and were able to pull him off. But the chains went down so hard on the ground that you think that the guards noticed you. So one guard definitely did notice you and kind of looked at you and said, "Hey." The other one kind of was like, "What?" And then the other guard said, "Not you, the guy in the cage. He just freed another guy in the spree. I don't know how the flip he got out." As they're starting to open up the gate, okay, hold on. As you cast a Toll of Dead, you end up... I need you to roll a d20 to see the effectiveness, and then a d12. Yeah, I just need you to roll to see if you can aim properly because you've been knocked unconscious for a few days and everything. So, okay, for the you end up hitting him. You were able to aim and kind of hit him, and you ended up pushing and pushing and pushing to the point where he's like, "Ugh," and the effect immediately works, and he completely falls to the ground. And he's like, "Ugh," and he falls to the ground and he becomes immediately pale. And as the bell starts to softly disappear, the guy starts to... The other guard notices you and decides to start to charge at you, and he ends up going to swing at you, and he ends up hitting your leg. And knocks you to the ground, but he uses the butt of the sword to knock you on the ground. And if you want to do chill touch, go ahead. Roll... Let's see, I gotta roll this. So, as you start to do chill touch on him, do chill touch on him, you go ahead and reach, and he ends up immediately seeing that you're trying to reach him, and he goes ahead and knees you in the face, and you take 2 damage from a knee to the face, and you start to feel that warm blood drip down your cheek and from your nose and drip into your mouth a little bit as you're gasping for air. What do you want to do? as you are deciding on what you want to do, okay, so as you are mocking him, the friend that you just helped grabs the chain. Your mother hits harder. Okay, I can already see this is going to be a good campaign already. He grabs his chain and starts to go to swing, but as he goes to swing, he realizes that the chain is a little too heavy and he collapses to the ground and hits his head first into the ground. And as you are mocking the guard, he decides to tell you this one thing that could either drive you insane or not insane. He says, well, if your mother was here, I would turn her backwards and throw her into this dungeon myself. I know. And as you're saying that, he goes ahead and his mouth drops. He's like, what? You never met your mother? And as he starts to push you against the wall with his foot, I know, that as well, yeah. He starts to push you against the wall with his foot in his hands, and as that happens, your friend ends up getting up and immediately grabs the chain officially now, after trying to get up so many times, and wraps it around the guard's neck and just falls backwards with him, and was able to actually kick the guard down and hold him there while choking him with the chain. And the guard is taking 2 damage per turn of his. What do you want to do? Okay, what do you want to cast? Okay, go ahead and roll for that. 19? Okay. You end up being able to inflict it, and I need you to roll for damage. Three d10s. That was 16? Okay. So, as he does 16, you end up making him bleed and make him suffer to the point where he's dripping with blood all over his body. And then he just ends up freaking the flip out because he didn't know what happened other than the pain and the blood. And then he immediately passes out. And as he passes out, he ends up going, ugh, and says, "You will not get away with this. He'll be pissed." And he passes out do a persuasion check. And as you're, not persuasion, perception, I mean. And as you're checking this guy's heartbeat, you notice that your guy that you just saved is trying to get up, but can't seem to push the guy up at all. It looks like he's like struggling a lot. And what you see is basically you can feel nothing at all, but you think he might be alive to a certain point. Alright, roll for that. And as you're, okay. Go ahead and roll to lift the other guy. And then go ahead and cast 17 strength. You are easily able to just pick this guy up and throw him onto his side, and you can kind of hear like a faint little coming out of his mouth or butt. You don't know which one. As you were lifting this guy off and kind of just threw him off to the side, you notice that everybody against the east wall was able to just pull themselves off, and were just like collapsing to the ground side and side. You were not able to do chill touch to a point where it finishes them off to a certain degree, but you were able to do it to the point where you were able to do it to the point where it like inflicts like 2 damage to him. Okay, roll for strength for break his neck. You're gruesome, man. You're gruesome. Okay, so as you go ahead and try to break his neck like you've seen in movies, you notice that it's a lot harder to break someone's neck in real life. You're grabbing the jaw and you're trying to do it, but instead you're just popping the guy's neck and back, and you're going, and you just end up giving up and dropping him, saying, I'm just going to get out of here. What do you want to do? Okay, so are you going to leave the other human-looking person in there, and then you're just going to take everybody else there, too? Or are you just going to take that one guy that helped you? Okay, so as you're looking around, you notice that they're all able to stand on their own after falling a few times, and they're all just standing around confused on what to do next. The only person that is not like able to move around is the other person that you brought back to health, the one that seemed to be unconscious, the one that was unconscious. As you grab onto your buddy and you walk out, you do you want to say anything to him at all, or? Okay, as he notices that, he tries to open up his mouth, but instead of talking, he just makes random noises like roll a perception check. Okay, you notice that he has no tongue or teeth in his mouth. But he nods in agreement and grabs onto your hand and nods and bows down to you on his knees, like giving thanks to you. Hold on. Okay. That's alright. Hold on. It would if you got a certain amount of points. Let's see what you roll. And it would be, yeah, custom roll. Holy shit! You don't just bring back his tongue. You end up bringing back his... Good job on the roll, by the way. That was a good nat 20. Perfect time to use it. But you end up bringing his teeth back, his tongue, all of his blood wounds, everything all over his body starts to heal. His crooked toes that seemed to be broken for a while realigned, and you can look, as you look down, you see them just go and re-straighten. And his back, his scoliosis in his back just makes him straight, and he stands like 3 feet taller than you, and he's like, whoa! And he's like, whoa, that's my tongue! Oh, and my teeth! I have lost these so long ago! Oh, thank you, kind sir! I will be ever in your service! What should you have me do? I will do, not even caring about my own will. My will is your will, kind sir. Oh, I feel so good. I've been in here for so long. Hey, even my hair's back. When I first arrived, I had full beds of hair. Oh, you're right. There's guards. Oh. And as he was talking, it alerted one guard to you guys. Make that 2. And they're walking around the corner, and they were just paroling, and they look and see there's the dead bodies kind of thing. But that's in the and they kind of look at you as you're walking away from them. Which way do you want to go, left or right? Actually, roll a perception check. Okay, what you basically notice that there's like these huge orc guards that are like half dead, half alive, and are just staring at you and like confused on how you got out. And they're blocking what seems to be on the other side, a little open area, but that's all you can see. And as you look the other way, you notice that there's like a giant turn, but you don't know exactly where it goes. No, your weapons are in a different part of the dungeon, is what you presume, but you do not know exactly where. Alright. As you cast Toll the Dead, you end up 100% exceeding. And you end up... It starts at the neck, because he's leaning forward at you. And it's starting to go down to his chest. And you can kind of see it activate around his legs. And then immediately come to his feet. And then at the last moment, you can see his head kind of turn itself. And you can hear a big pop, and he falls to the ground dead. You broke his neck without even meaning to. What can I say? The guy rolled a nat 1. Okay, roll a persuasion. You're right, actually, that would be intimidation. Do intimidation. 5. Okay, so lucky enough for you, this guy got lower than you, so you're fine. Your voice starts to boom at him as you go ahead and say, "You either let us pass or you die." Or, "You're next unless you let us pass." Whatever you want to say, basically. And you basically go ahead and you scream it. And it echoes through the whole entire building and it starts to rumble it to a point where everybody else loses the balance except for you. And you start to you can kind of feel something happening, but you don't know what. Um, and then you end up 100% just, you know, this guy ends up going, actually, how about I just, help you out of here? I don't think that would benefit me towards the Dark Lord, but I think that maybe I would better want my life back. My life rather than to die by, how old are you, like 12? And he kind of cowers down into a corner. And he says, "Ladder's over there. It's a very long walk up, but there's the guard stations, and your weapon should be there too." And he's rocking back and forth as he kind of keeps an eye on you with looking sideways like, "Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me." That's what happens. As you're intimidating this guy, the dude that says, "I got this," he walks up and grabs the neck of the guard and says, "Where are our weapons? How do we get out of here?" And starts crushing his neck and says, "You shouldn't have locked me up here." And breaks his neck with just one hand. And drops the body down and says, "Next time, I'll be imprisonating them." And he does this kind of laugh, kind of makes the rest of the people kind of cower behind him, and he's like, "Ha ha 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 ha." Okay, you head over to the ladder, and I need you to do a persuasion check. Okay, as you look up towards the ladder, you notice that it's about a couple 100 feet long in a very narrow walkway, and you think that you might be able to get up there, but you don't know about the rest. What do you do? Yes, yourself and the helper can make it, but you don't know about the rest of the people because they seem to be weak, beaten up, and like their arms are like would give out after a few runks or something. He can if he has enough space to. And he is able to carry him with one arm behind him, like underneath him kind of thing, like hold him up and go do 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 do. But basically uh pulling the guy's socket out, arm socket out. All right, so you chain him to this guy's back, and um, you guys start to make it up the ladder, and you're crawling and climbing all the way up, and as you guys make it to the very top, you see it like you. I need you to roll a perception check. Okay, so you notice that it's dark, but you can see like there's a campfire to your left, and there's a campfire to your right, and then there's like a guard huts a little bit beyond those campfires, three of them on each. And then you notice this weird giant kind of tent area. And then when you look past the huts in front of you and past the building, you can cut that giant tent. I mean, you notice that there's a giant reef that you do not know where it goes. He said that it was up there somewhere, but he didn't specify. But he said that there were the guard huts and that your materials would be somewhere over there. That's all you were able to do before your helper killed him. They couldn't pull off your armor because your body is so muscular and your armor was made for someone a little bit more lean than you. Okay, I need you to roll stealth. So dexterity. Okay, so as you persuaded him to stay, you ended up at first you step out and you make a loud creak on a stick, but after that you realize that you need to be a little bit more quiet, and you start heading over to the first hut to your right. As you get closer to the campfires, you notice that there are people sitting around the campfires giggling. And, well, not giggling, kind of laughing and kind of, they have their spears next to them and everything. And as you make it over to the hut, you kind of hear some voices say, once the Dark Lord finally takes over the rest of this world, this world would be a lot better. And the other person says, well, see, my wife says that she doesn't believe in the ethics of the Dark Lord. And I'm kind of curious whether or not maybe she's right or not. But to be honest, if he does take over, maybe I can finally prove her right. And then he says, well, it will be a lot better, right? And he says, well, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of sketchy here and there. He says, well, if you continue talking like that and you hear him talk like that, you're going to get stabbed by somebody, including me, because I'm loyal to him. Over the past 5 years, yes, you know of the Dark Lord. You know... Oh, no, it's been 3 years since you arrived, yeah. So, you know exactly who the Dark Lord is. You know exactly what they're speaking of. You know the rain, because there's been stories while you were working and everything. About him and how, you got to keep an eye out for that guy because he's terrible and he does that. Exactly. And as you kind of sneak up to the side where the door is, you can hear a guy mumble as he walks out saying, "This is flipping bullshit. I want to be able to do shit. Come on. I'm tired of just sitting here. I want to go down there and beat up some prisoners." And he's continuing to walking, and he does not notice you right next to the door. And as you are just standing there as he walks away, he goes over to the campfire and sits down and says, I just got yelled at. If I continue talking like this, I'm going to get in trouble. Why do you keep on getting me in trouble, Jared? And then Jared's a tall, muscular guy, you can tell, and says, well, I'm loyal to him too, The chief was pretty nice about it, though. I would have just stabbed you right into the heart. Immediately. But, that's not the chain of the fucking command here. Now sit down and eat your slop before I end up deciding to stab you. So he sits down and he starts to munch on his slop. And he's like, what's in this? Is this pig or... Says, no. It's human. Oh. Prisoners? Yeah, it's the ones that were pretty good meat. I expect that they're going to kill a couple other ones soon and bring some more up. Kind of, but not. They know what you look like because these guards are the ones that go out and pick up the prisoners and bring them back and drop them down the hole. But yeah. And as you're just standing there, kind of thing. Okay. Roll for what is it? Flip. Roll for survival. Or, no, deception, yeah. That'd make it a lot easier, yeah. So, for survival and deception, you were able to disguise yourself with some dirt that you kind of look like a person that was there. And as survival, none of them really notice that you except for one. But he doesn't notice that you're a prisoner. He notices that you're outside the tent, and he says, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing here? What do you do?" Alright, I'll wait. Alright, why this guy's on a phone call? I would like to tell you guys a little bit about a couple things. So, as of now, D&D is going to be every other 2 weeks. This week and not next week, but the week after, Saturdays. Every Saturday, I'll be recording it and posting it the next Sunday. There will be no edits, and it will just be posted. You'll get raw footage of everything. I will not be showing my face unless it is on this. Today, I only have one player. Hopefully soon, I will have the other players join. Today, most of them could not make it because they had other stuff to do. But I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, because soon, I hope I will have a sponsor soon. Because if I can get a sponsor soon, that would be nice. But if anyone out there is watching my video and wants to sponsor me, go right ahead. And if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And, you probably don't want to miss out on none of these. I'm doing online because of the fact that there are multiple people that aren't able to make it via in person. I don't have anybody that will be able to make it in person at all during this campaign. After this campaign, it depends on who's available and who's not. Either I'll continue to do with these guys or new people. But this campaign will last a pretty long time unless they decide to go straight to the Dark Wizard and kill them. Which would probably be most likely would probably not be that. Anyway. I will be having merch come out soon. If you want to buy it, I'll have a link in 2 from now. Soon I will be doing a Fall Guys video soon. And I'll be doing a Minecraft video, getting back into those series. I'll also be doing Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda, and I will be playing Mario Kart. On top of that, I will also be going ahead and posting a lot more than I have been. But now that's out of the way, let's get right back into the game. Alright, what do you want to do? Sorry, I had to promote my channel, man. Okay, roll for deception. I know. You want to act like that. You want to act drunk? Yep. Okay, 18. Wow. So you're able to persuade these guys. Pretty simple, and you just wander in, and the chief is in that tent, you notice, and doesn't notice you. He looks like he's napping, and you kind of look around and roll perception. $17, not bad. As you're looking around, you notice that he is sleeping. You notice that there's an eye patch on the desk, and there's a map of the world, which, if you need to refer to it, it's in general. Just for the design. And you realize that you are in Trail Lovo, which is right next to Ruins of Battles and Humville and Draw Fen Tavern, and you can notice that you're in a forest kind of area, and that you're right on the coast, so you have a couple miles away from Trail Lovo, which is, you're guessing is where they get a lot of the guards from. And at both sides of the walls, you see these weapons. On one side, you see a mace and spears and a couple bow and arrows. And on the right, you see a cloak, and you see all these, like a wardrobe full of warrior weapons, armor, all that stuff. And then around the neck of the chief, you see this amulet, you think it is, that's glowing blue. And kind of has a faint beeping noise to it, like a beep, beep, beep. But it seems to keep, the chief seems not to notice it, so he's still asleep. You do not see your things in this tent. As you're about to stumble back out, the guards that are the campfire that confronted you and kind of stand there and kind of look at you and go, "No, drunk lad. You think that you're going to make it out alive? I don't think so. You already know what we're doing. We better just stab you. Or we might just get you enough drunk to pass you out and throw you down with the rest of our prisoners." What do you do? And this is right outside the gate. The tent, I mean. So you say, "I can still drink you under the table." As you say that, one of the guys goes over to try to grab you, and he misses, and he ends up like hitting his head on part of the tent, and causes the tent to just tilt one way and collapse, but it seems to still not faze the chief. And as the other guy comes over and tries to grab you, he ends up missing, and ends up grabbing the tent and knocks it 100% flat now. But it still does not faze the chief. You don't hear any grunts. You can still hear him snoring. And they're freaking out. They're like, "Oh my God, what are we doing? What are we doing? We just covered the chief's tent up and knocked everything over, but everything's still not fazing him. He's gonna be so mad at us. What are we gonna do? We can't put this up without waking him up, because he's gonna have an extra blanket on him, feels like, and then soon disappear. Hey, can you help us, kind sir?" And as they look at you, you're completely gone into the next tent. As they look towards where you were already gone. As you go into the next one, you notice that there's tons of rations of food and everything. Roll a hunger check. Okay, you're pretty hungry. To the point where you're like, you see and smell this slump in and everything. And you're like, I'm hungry, kind of rumbling in your stomach. You go over and you grab like as much scones and food as possible, and you just start gulping it down your throat. And once you start to get really full and your mouth becomes really dry, you dip your head into this bucket full of water and drink it. And it seems to be fine water, nothing strange about it at all. So you continue to drink and drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. And then you get full enough, and then you end up going back out the tent, I'm guessing. And going to the next one. You want to roll perception in the food area? Alright, you notice that there is none of your stuff in there. It just seems to be all food in this tent. Alright. You stumble out of the next one and kind of act drunk, and you end up going into the next one. Roll perception. There's not much in this that you can see. There's a chest, there's coats, there's beds. No one's really sleeping in the beds at all. A little wardrobe full of just some day-to-day clothes. It seems to just be like a normal barracks that you would see. And your stuff isn't there at all, you can tell. And all the chests has giant locks on it. Okay. Oh, really? Locks, you say? Okay, what does that mean you're going to do? You're going to try to pick these locks or break them open? I'll be surprised if you actually can grab them by your hands and just pull them off and they break. Because these locks are like about 3 feet by 2 feet big. And they're black and they seem to be glowing. Yes, you could tell what it is with the 12 Arcane. And what you notice is that the spells seem to be enchanted with this dark magic that was, as far as you know, you cannot access unless you're like a royal. And it's dark magic that would have to take years of practice, like good 100 years of practice, and curate over time in order to be as powerful as what's on the locks. Okay, as you stumble out, you notice that the guards again are looking around for you but cannot find you at all. And as you go into this large tent, you notice that there's tons of stuff. Just random stuff. Roll perception to see if you see your stuff. Yes, you do get an advantage. So roll twice. Okay, so as you are looking around, you feel this connection immediately as you look dead center in this chest that has the similar locks as what were in the barracks, but you don't notice if they're enchanted at all. They're not really enchanted. It seems to be already unlocked or something. And as you're... I'm guessing you're going to go empty. Open it. Okay, as you open it, you see all your belongings. Your bag, your amulet, you see everything. A crossbow. And as you're grabbing it all, it seems like you tripped a wire. Or something. Because 3 of the guards walk in immediately and say, "Hey, you're not drunk. You're one of the prisoners, aren't you? Get him!" And as they go ahead and charge you, one of them charges directly towards you and completely runs directly into a different chest that's in front of the chest that you were at, and trips and hits his head on the concrete and opens up his head completely, and he dies. You can see his brain ooze out, slowly creep out. Yes, he did. As another guard goes up to you, he goes ahead and says, "I'm not as dumb as him." And as he does that, no, you don't have to roll for initiative in this part. Because it's just you. It's just going to go the guards and then you, basically. This guard basically walks forward 3 steps, and then immediately the guy from behind him takes a step and accidentally pokes him with his spear, and he turns around and screams at him and says, "Are you fucking kidding me? You do this every single fucking time. Every time I take a step, you follow me. I told you, stay at least 5 feet behind me, or else I'm going to cut your throat and your head and kill you." Okay, roll a d20 for strength. Well, you end up grabbing him, the warhammer, and you swing at him and hits his head so hard that it literally knocks him to the ground, and you can start to see tears in his neck and just see blood oozing down from his neck. And his head's still attached, and he's kind of talking, but it's like really deep in. And the guy that was just being yelled at was like, "Sir, you okay? Sir?" And then he looks up at you and goes, "You shouldn't have done that. He's been training me for a while. I think I can do this." And you can hear a faint groan from behind like, "Don't do it. It's worse than what you think." And I need you to roll, dexterity. Okay. You were able to move fast enough so he doesn't hit your head, but he ends up swinging his sword down and hits like your shoulder and kind of goes in like 3 centimeters, and he pulls it out and says, "I'm going to kill you!" Ah! And he's starting to just like, run at you and chase you around the tent. And as he's chasing you around the tent, he's not in touch range. But as he's chasing you around the tent, he looks, you can see out of the door frame of the tent, a tall man with a mace run up to the guard and swings this mace at him. And he ends up going and swings at the head, but misses and takes out one of the kneecaps, and the guard falls to the ground and goes, "Ah, my knee! My knee! My knee!" And your helper kind of looks at you and goes, "I told you, I'm here to help." Yes, you hit with 18. Roll a 2d8. Nine. So as he takes 9 damage, he's screaming and going, "Ah! Ah!" And then it starts to pick up a little bit and he goes, "Ah! Ah!" And then he like passes out from the pain of his kneecap and the sickness. And as your helper, as he passes out, that your helper comes up to you and says, "Well, I think this guy is 100% gone. You want to get out of here, or you want to stay and kill the rest of them?" He says, "All right, we'll get the flock out of here. More flock than the pock has ever had." And he grabs onto the chest that had the rest of the stuff. He's still on his back. Can you hear me? I'm guessing you can. Okay, good. Sorry, I just plugged in my microphone. I needed my microphone plugged in a little bit. Okay. And as your guys are walking out of the camp, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go towards the shore, or do you want to go away from the shore? All right. Yes, you're in the Forgotten Forest. You're closer to the Four Peaks than what you would have been. You're on the opposite side of the forest, but basically a straight line kind of area in there. I hope that makes sense. Okay. As you start to head north towards the coast, you walk out into the forest a little bit more. And I need you to roll a hold on. Need to Why did D&D Beyond do that? D&D Beyond started to act up and kicked me out for a second. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. Alright. You walk in there and immediately you feel dazed for a second, like you've forgotten what you are doing. But then immediately you pull through and immediately go ahead and continue on your journey towards the coast. Your helper, on the other hand, immediately forgets what he does and sits down and goes, "What was I doing? I'm confused. Who are you? Why is there a man on my back?" And he takes off, he unchains him from your back and puts him on the ground and says, "I don't know what to do. I think I'm tired, but I don't know if I should get some sleep or not. How do you know I could trust you? You just want me to follow an unknown person?" Okay, roll for strength. So you were able to smack him lightly, but he noticed it was coming and kind of like leaned into it a little bit on accident. And he was like, "Okay, fine." You both rolled a 3, by the way. But he kind of looked at you guys and went, "Fine, what about this guy? I don't want to carry him on my back anymore. He creeps me out. Is he dead?" "Oh, why is he sleeping? He should be awake and walking himself." "Why do I have to carry him? You can carry him, right?" "Oh, is this place not safe?" "It looks pretty safe to me. It looks like there's no animals, no people, or anything." "Oh, not right now?" "Oh, okay. I'll grab them and, guards? Why are there guards coming? Did we, did we do something bad?" "Guards are here to protect, not enslave." And as he, escaping, but how? As he says how, he stands up, grabs the guy, and says, "I don't want any part of this," and puts the guy and leans the guy against you and runs off in the opposite direction, going back to the camp, screaming like, I don't want to do this. But he ends up coming back, noticing that the guy, remembering what happens and runs in, and he ends up remembering this time about everything. He's like, okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what came over me. Now give me the body. Let's go. Okay, roll a dexterity. Acrobatics. Oh, my name? My name is Jamal. Jamal Hikoso. I was enslaved this during the war, over 150 years ago. You know, the battle was fierce. The battle was very fierce. You see, I was helping out this guy. He claims to be from a different world called, I don't know, something called Earth. And he's running and running and running. Towards the battle, and he's kind of like this. He kind of saved me just like you, but I was a farm boy who never liked farming and had too much potential, according to him. And he took me along, and apparently, what happened was, we were fighting with the Dark Wizard, but then we realized that we were fighting for the wrong part. At the last minute during the final battle, the battle that's just over there. The Ruins of Battles, I don't know if you know where that is. It's next to Trail Lovo. But he was there, and he ended up dying, and I tried to take revenge. But he couldn't, the Dark Lord could not kill me, for I was wearing the amulet of protection. The amulet of life and the amulet of death, causing it too hard to kill me. You notice that the area is clear enough because you, in a few more little bit, but you think that maybe in maybe another 20-30 feet you could obviously start camp where the sand starts, but right where you are right now you think that it's not the best idea. Good job on our dirty 20. Let's just hope it's not with pole dancing. As you guys reach the thing, he continues talking and says, you see, I was enslaved. He thought that it would be better if he just killed me. But it never worked. Because this man tried so hard. And he tried super hard to kill me. You know, the Dark Wizard was actually from Earth too, apparently, according to this man I helped. Apparently, there was 5 of them. The Dark Wizard used to be a good guy until he realized why stop and help the place when he could be become the ruler of the place and never leave again, because he loved it way too much. I got really worried about it too. I tried to kill him multiple times. He said that if I stopped and joined him, I would have my life eternity. So I did for a very long time. For 50 years I was there, as his imperial officers were judging him. I was his head councilman for the generals. And then I noticed that he was trying to do it. What do you mean by talk me to him? I tried so hard to remember what I could do, but when it came... Well, last time I was there... Oh, take me to him, okay. Well, last time I was there, it was a very long journey. But that was back when we were settling down in Trail Lovo. But then the locals took it over, and he migrated, but that's when I decided to attack back. So I don't know exactly where he is anymore. But Trail Lovo was his town. He was there and he was powerful. He started killing locals, and I told him that I would only help him if he didn't kill locals. But instead he did. So I stood against him. He threw me against a wall with magic. And then I was the first prisoner ever to be put down here. He dug so deep. They call it the prison between lands. Some people say that there's a portal halfway through the ladder that brings you to Earth, halfway down. Some others say it's just really deep into the ground and protected by heat-resistant metal and magic. And I'm pretty sure wherever he is, it's not good. And I feel so foolish for helping out people and all that stuff. You know, I knew his name, but I don't remember it very much. It started with like a K, like Kevin? Kevin, that was his name, Kevin. And the guy I was helping, I don't remember that guy's name. He died so long ago. Right before I battled him, I stuck all the stones of the amulets that powered the amulets into my body so I would never lose them, just in case. I think that's why I'm alive too. I'm kind of glad for those right now. Nervously laughing, he says. And he's like, well, it's pretty late, pretty dark. I'm going to start a fire. As he goes out to start a fire, to collect wood, he comes back with like lots and lots of wood, and then he goes ahead and basically uses magic and lights it on fire immediately and says the mumble words, "Akese," and it lights immediately and goes boom. And he's like, I did it for so long, I haven't been able to do that. I'm so happy I still have magic in me. Anyway, I bet we should get some sleep. I hope this fire keeps us warm. Is there anywhere particular that we're going at all? Yeah, I understand that. 55 years at the beginning, then another 150 afterwards. It was painful. Anyway, I never got your name. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Bubby. I'm gonna get some sleep. And in the morning, I'm gonna make you what what Kevin used to make all the time for me. He called it waffles. And he said it like this: I'm gonna make you waffles. With a weird tone. I learned very well how to make it. I always keep the materials in my bag, which is right here. I grabbed that while you were grabbing your stuff. As he lays down, he kind of puts his bag underneath his head, and he starts to immediately pass out, and he goes, you notice that the sand is like really soft compared to what the cell was for 3 years. And as you lay down, you put your bag there. Yes. From Shrek, yes. I did just make a Shrek quote. And in the morning, I'm making waffles. I had to put it in there somewhere. And as you notice that the sand is really soft, you put your head on the sand, and it's really cool. You guys pass out. In the morning, you guys both wake up, and everything's fine. A long rest, yeah. So you're back to full health. All slots for spells are redone, everything. And really fast, I just put you back to full health, by the way, on my screen. I can do that. I have control of all your things. Fear me. I'm the god. One thing we should probably do right now is mark XP really fast from that battle. So I say that there was about 6 people that you killed using your bare hands, so that's about 50 points each for XP. Plus escaping, that's about another 100. Which equals 400 points. So you're going to level up 400 XP. Oh, did you not have set it on XP? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I just don't like how milestone based campaigns work. It's like, why in the world would I do that when I can level up this amount of times in one milestone with XP versus milestone, you know? So how are you liking the campaign so far? You enjoying it? Even though right now it's just you and I. So good so far? Good. I try to make it fair for the player and the NPCs. So I'm like, okay, if they roll this, I have to at least roll this for them to save. Kind of thing. I try to make it really fair. It's like, I don't want too... a lot of campaigns that I've played as a character, I've noticed that a lot of times that the guys, the people are either too harsh or way too nice. And at first, when I started being a DM, I started to be way too nice or too mean at times. And then I was like, you know what? I need to find a medium. So I started training myself by putting myself in positions on different games, on decisions, and all that stuff. And it just ended up working out the way I wanted it to. So, yeah. We've been doing the campaign so far, just you and I, for almost 2 hours. That's a good time. What do you want for the first session? Alright, hold on. But I don't know what I'm going to be holding on to because I'm in my office and there's nothing really to hold on to. Cricket, 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 cricket. Oh damn, it's so quiet in here. What am I gonna do? Ah! You know what? Yes, you can. Just add that to your inventory and you can have that for the rest of the game. I'm gonna say you found it in a chest while you were looting the tent for that mural scale mail. It makes sense to have that. Sound good? Hope so. Good. No problem. I just want you to be happy, man. Just want you to be happy. And you earned it, by the way. Yes, you don't have disadvantage on stealth. Good. Also, okay. So, now you wake up and to a violent shake of him shaking you awake, going, "Hey, hey, hey, hey! It's time. We should probably get going before the guards start coming. We're really close to the next town. We're really close. We're probably about the best way possible to go is probably to go east and head down to Tie Down. It's the closest one. Sure, it's a few clicks away. It's about 6 clicks away, which is equivalent to... That's okay, level up. It's 6 clicks is equivalent to about 17.5 miles. And we don't have any equipment, so if we want to get there before noon, we should probably go now. Sound good? I hope so. Because if you don't go, I'm going. I don't want to be here any more seconds. Also, I made you waffles. Here, eat. If you don't eat, I'm going to whack you over the head and drown you. Just joking. I would never drown you. If I were to drown you, I would not drown you. I would do it a lot more efficiently and do it while you're sleeping. So when you wake up, if you do wake up. Tie-dom. Yeah, I accidentally pronounced it tie down. Because that was the name that I was originally going to call it, and then I was like, wait, no, I should probably not call it tie down, because that could be into... That's a little farther away, man. You have to go around the forests. Unless you want to go that way. You can try to persuade him if you want to. Unless you want to try to get all the way to the capital and because that's where you're from and try to get your contacts there. You want to go to Mustuk? Alright. Roll for persuasion. Okay. Roll for persuasion. Persuasion. Persuade me. Sorry, I'm weird. You probably haven't noticed that yet, but I'm weird. Ten. Well, you end up persuading him. He's like, fine, we'll go to Mustuk, but I'm warning you. There's a lot of people that hate me in Mustuk. Because I was with the Dark Lord for so long, they might not know my face. I don't know, but there used to be so much. They might be old or dead. I don't know. I've been in that captive place for what it feels like 200 years, but I don't know how long it's been. Time works differently down there, I think. I don't know. Oh, we don't have to head around. If you need to go to Mustuk to get something, we can. Also, the capital and Mustuk are pretty far apart. You have to go a really bad roundabout unless you want to go through the lake. So, let's go to Mustuk so we can get a wagon or something. I'm pretty sure they're all dead. I don't know. If there isn't, I'll kill them. It's pretty easy to kill these old people. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. They also probably think I'm dead. Yeah. Anyway. And to go through the lake, it's pretty long thing. And that lake has monsters in it that will come out and eat you.
Unless you want to try that. But you're going to have to rent a boat as well. How much gold do you have? Or silver. If you do silver, it's less. But if you do gold, you have more. It's up to you. Alright. So we're going to go to Mustok. You're going to do what you can to get your gold. And then from there we'll go ahead and do what we got to do.
So as you guys journey, you're walking. You pass what the times pass like it seems to be very far, and you get to the plains officially after what seems to be really, really long. And as you tell him that you have 20 gold to him, he says,
well, that should be enough to at least buy the ferry. But I don't know about going across the thing. We could probably get one way, but not the other way back. But that's going to take up all the gold. Unless you have something else more valuable, like, services, winky face.
As he winks at you.
Says, there's a lot of ferries that will do it for services too. I don't know. There's services, there's other things like an amulet, like the holy connection, the holy amulet that you have right there on your neck. They'd probably want that more than they want the gold. If you have a prized possession of yours, they might want that too. But we can do the 20 gold, just be careful. Alright, let's go.
So you guys walk through the plains a little bit more. And as you walk through the plains, it starts to get really, really hot. And really, really cold and really, really hot. The wind picks up really heavily. You get this fresh smell of grass. As you're walking through this tall grass, thunderstorm starts happening and it starts to pour tons of rain. And then that subsides. You guys eventually dry off. 2 hours later, it's almost 11, and you officially make it to a tavern. The Trecoke Embro Tavern. This tavern is known for outlaws to be hanging out around, and many people to dislike outsiders to join. And you guys are hungry, you guys are starving, you haven't eaten anything since 4 a.m. and it's getting really hot, you have no water to drink. What do you want to do? So as you tell Jamal about the tavern, he says,
oh, I love tavern food, especially this tavern. I remember when I was a little boy, when it was first owned by my father. This uncle, my great uncle would love to just bring home some food to the farm occasionally. My mom hated his guts, and so does my dad. I don't know why, but they did. But eventually, I ended up getting called into the military, and by, Kevin and a couple other people, and I don't know why, but really good food. Maybe it's still in my family's loom. Maybe we could find something. Maybe my son is there. I don't know. I haven't seen my son in a very long time. He could be dead, for all I know. He was just a baby when I left. Sure, my sister gave birth to her, to him, but that doesn't matter. It might be my sister who gave birth, but, you know, it's still my son. I had no one else to hang out with. Things just got a little bit too much. And the black sky turned to white. Oh, I'm from Mustok. I'm from Mustok. And just a little bit that way, when we walk towards Mustok on the road, I bet you'll see my farm. Maybe we could stop by and see if my family still owns it, and maybe they'll recognize me. I'm a lot muscular than I was back then, though, so I don't know. They might still hate my guts for leaving them. Alright, so you guys head into the tavern to get something to eat. And as you're looking at the menu says 5 gold pieces for a drink of ale. A gallon of ale is 10 pieces of gold, or 6 pieces of silver. Or you can go for a whole entire bundle, which is for 15 gold, which comes with chicken, cow, a horse to ride on, and a lovely lady to serve you some ale. And if you get a little too drunk, she'll take you to the room. You also get a room for 2 hours. What is your choice? So you take the bundle. You take the bundle, I'm guessing. All right. So as you ordering the food, Jamal's like, "Oh my goodness, look, it's my sister. I didn't know she would be working here. Maybe but she looks a little older than I would expect. Maybe my son's still here." And as you see the food brought over by his sister, Jamal's like, "Janet, it's me, Jamal." And Janet looks at Jamal and goes, "Jamal, our son will be so happy to hear that you're alive. It's been a while. Where have you been?" And then Jamal and Janet walk off and go ahead and start talking. The food and then the lovely woman that brings the ale to you is tall-ish, not really tall, just maybe 2 inches or 3 inches shorter than you guess. She has a nice rack, kind of skinny, nice little curvy a little bit. And she goes, "Well, I'm glad that you've come to get my ale. Here's the keys to the room. If you need any more help, just ask." And then she walks away. And she blushes a little bit as she looks away. And you expect that she might like you a little bit too much, or she might just be really horny. What do you do? This bro frozen for a second. As she's walking away, you go ahead and say, "Please stay. I want some company." She says, "Sure, I'll sit down. I don't know if my mother would be appreciated. She's owned the tavern. Her name's Janet, though. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what's funny is the fact that my brother actually, was born with father was her brother, Jamal, which was really hilarious to hear about." I was like, "What? Really? You know Jamal? That's my uncle." And technically my stepdad was, I guess. You saved him? How? Last time I knew he was working for the Dark Lord and was immortal. What? Why did you need to save him?
As you take a bite of food and you're chewing, and she kind of looks at you and goes,
Wow, what a small world this is. You know? I haven't met someone like you before, though. Well, my Uncle Jamal and my mother have. His name is Kevin. But you probably know him as the Dark Lord. He recruited my Uncle Jamal to go attack the rest of the people. But yeah. Anyway, how did you save Jamal?
as you go ahead and tell her how you saved Jamal.
What? How?
As she says,
What? You kidding me? Kevin was being imprisoned by his own boss? Well...
And as she's like, her head's down, Janet and Jamal come back, silhouetting with some, Janet's buttons a little bit loose at the top, and he's like, his button on his pants are loose a little bit. He's like, what? Oh! Hey! How you doing there, kiddo? Where's my son?
He died last year. I thought you would have known. I've been in prison for the 50 years. Why do you think I would do that? Well, I don't know.
Then Janet's like,
yeah, I sent out a letter, but what happened? I was in prison for 50 years by Kevin. I thought you guys would have known that.
I just read what you said about, yeah, I don't think he's his boss anymore. Making another baby. Oh shit! That's 3 different types of sentences into one with emotions.
And Janet goes in and says, well, it's nice to see you. Who's this guy?
And Jamal says,
This is another human. He saved me. Just like last time. Kevin saved you from the damn flippin' farm. And now you're working for an evil person, and now you're gonna follow another person from Earth? Are you fucking kidding me? This is bullshit. Stop doing this and come home. I would really use your help. Half human? What do you mean, half human? I don't even understand what half human is, huh? I haven't seen one of you guys for ages. You guys went extinct a long time ago. You're just full damn fucking human after you guys cut yourselves off. Half demon? You brought a half demon, half human from Earth here? From hell? You fucking kidding me? This cannot be doing any more great. Oh my fucking god. Jamal, you need to get out of my tavern now. And your friend needs to get out of here too. And if you want to come back here, you gotta kill him first. I don't want no demons in my holy sacred area. I worked so hard for Uncle Jared to remember that I worked here, okay? Okay? After he left for the guards to watch over you in that prison. Oh shit, I just said that. I didn't know anything about it.
Jamal gets very defensive and goes, what, you knew Uncle Jamal was, wait, sorry, I said the wrong name. You knew Uncle Jared was there, and I just murdered my uncle?
Well, yeah, someone had to be able to be stronger than you. He's always been stronger than you ever.
Jamal grabs her by the neck and says, you keep Jamal, my uncle's name out of the mouth. I can't believe I had a kid with you. You're probably the reason why he's dead.
Actually, no. He wanted to go save you, and he died to the hands of the guards.
As he sets her down on the counter and says, well,
I'm going to be leaving now.
my friend's already paid. And we're taking your daughter, my niece.
And Janet gets down and says, "You're not taking her. You understand that she is not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? You are ungrateful. No wonder Mom and Dad never liked you and still resent you till this day. I hope you're not trying to go to the farm, because they'll probably shoot you on sight. They might be really, really old, but they're still kicking. Unlike you stopped kicking when you were 2. Ha!"
Alright, we're gonna leave off at here. We'll pick up later. Alright. Baba Yaga, I will see you in 2 weeks. For the campaign. Viewers at home, if you have any suggestions on how I can make the campaign better, or an idea of anything, please comment down below. Tell me your favorite part and quote what it is, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.